and so yesika krabia wo aba wo ebo nipa dodo na mo musikasem ejina ne nan so enu ti se wo ye ankrankran nwumeko sorry na mo pe bebi edi musika esie no mema eno enye odadwen esanse talent aba wo ebebo mo sikasem no etimi ejina ne nan so ye papa edi amon enwumere nsem no edoso ye pa na de ebedi mu akotene bi osem fo asem ame okenkan fo emi de ebeso mo ewo kase ne so no ebi ene sen endedwe Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wodin sen bi abetudwemra wokopie mu ewo Zambia eye wo mo fallen heroes no man penny ebo no homodin e the flowers ekoto wo mo enda so an no yedi emu nsem yedi ebeba abeso mo ho sasa enso so ana foreign affairs minister ononya for Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa endedwe wodi abetudwa wo chem se eye Ghana ene Zambia enya kitahudi a mbeye visa free de amo bibia ewo my Ghana ha no so yedi emu nsem enyume yede ebebro yede dwede nsem ebeka ho ede ama finance minister Dr. Kesel ato force in wono so ede nsem bi abetudwa efa eye Gold Coast eye refinery ehwan no so yede emu nsem yede ebebro enyume yede ni jede nsem ebeka ho ede ama ya darling and so ede nsem bi abetudwa wo chem so no de enyum to eye ni girlfriend a onja enyum no entu baby de biarada ebusiafo we ni nsem ni afofo p enwume ya bo anu ayede beso mo se no nsia kase wo KFM TV no so meka wo sensemi ya abelfo ntentam video no etwegu wo ho Facebook and YouTube KFM TV GH enu to betimi ahwebi na wa share na wadwenche no so de egu ase ama me kama okenkan fo enwume eye me maami esinkoma me da ne me ho sema me ba me hyensem na se ede ama Mamba Simon Muina kwaba edam asise enwume muguso etmu TV ho amhwe no siakase wo KFM TV no so mekoso ekai wo se enwume nsemi etwegu ewe abefo ntentam video no so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV GH no to betimi ahwebi na wa share na wa like na wa dwenche no odi egu ase ama me kama na me hyensem na se edi ama odi Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ye ne ndamiensa aproba wode ehhehye so ewo Zambia mine mu endrada ana woni nsem twofo hia woni wo mo etwetwe nkomo na nsem no edros ye papa wo chese o my Ghana eye o mo behwe kwan a ebefa so a ye properties ton kwan a ebefa so a ye beton property na ebebu o man no eno ana sesi ade ye behwe na ya yesade o chese wo mo de eye devastator eye bill public bill ebeba eno wo di kopie mu wo mrachebedwafia wo mo kohwe se sa bill no ebeboa ma sa decision amampani John Dramani Mahama wo di ebegu kwan mu no ebeboa no wo mo de sa bill no ebeba betudwa mo bibia atibi ewo nasum no nti Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne sema wo di tudwa ne nwumre yenso ye di bi esomo ewo kase no eso
entered their report and we've cancelled several leases that had not been processed yet. These were public lands that were just distributed and looted. I mean, people just carved up and bought for cheap. I mean, lands, there are people who buy a land, government land at 150,000 cedis and turn around and sell that same plot of land for $2 million. And these are lands in prime areas. And yet if you look at the value that they are giving and how much people buy them for and turn around and resell them, it just doesn't make sense at all. And so we've got a committee, they've mapped out not only in Accra, all the regions, what the status of public lands are. In some places people have finished building and are even living in the houses. It will be difficult to say, look, we're going to break this house and take the land back. And so in those cases where they have processed title, then what we're doing is we're asking them to pay the true value of the land. The land cannot have been 140,000 cedis in airport residential or somewhere like that, you know. So, but those that were in the process of being done at the time that we came, we have halted that process and we're taking those lands back. But when we take those lands back, it means that we must find a proper way of making sure that, you know, another group won't come and start selling them again. And so I want to bring something to Parliament about divestiture of public property. If you want to sell public property, you would need the approval of the representatives of the people. And so any public land processing will not be processed at the Land Commission unless it is ratified in Parliament. This will stop the rampant sale of government assets.
Adesima Benunti Semwe ana Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wode abetu dwaye so ye DBS sum na nsem no wan fence wa wosan edit dwabe ma watchem say wono de wo bebo ne homode ama Ghana education system no atimi akonanim ye papa wo share Ghana fo ina abone titue ni school fo a womo ewo my Ghana ha say wo 2028 mo no enya ade a school ni bia ebetena form anase wo bebutu wo mpo esua de esan say womo de nhihye foforo beba ebeboa ma bibia no adesua etimi etumpon ewo my Ghana ha say insama wo de tu dwane enso ye dibi esomo.
Basic school level has been neglected. The previous government focused just on SHS because it was their flagship program, free SHS. So you go to many schools and they had no textbooks, no school furniture. Children were sitting on the floor and learning. This year, we're going to provide 2 million pieces of school furniture. We want by 2028. One by 2028 that no Ghanaian pupil will sit on the floor or lie on his stomach to write or to study in school.
Ebusia former Penny John Dramani Mahama wono anodin semwe etu dwa na wasan edit dwa bia ma wode kokobo kwama chief executive officers ahodo a womo ewo my Ghana ha a womo ewo state owned enterprise ni say womo hwe na womo audit bia wo say womo ye no prebosome enko na ewie ye no na womo ayesa audit ni nia the report abeto ho anya saade a wo behwe ama Ghana mra no eni womo edin ye papa pama Penny John Dramani Mahama kokobo we anode kwama chief executive officers ahodo a womo ewo state owned enterprise emu.
State owned enterprises are turning around and making profits instead of losses. We are asking all of them. There are many state-owned enterprises who for 7 to 8 years have never produced an annual report. Meanwhile, it's obligatory for them to do it. This year I said, woe betide any chief executive of a state-owned enterprise who by the end of April, which is the target date, has not done your audits and presented your annual reports. I won't say what will happen, but
sai edi ani de DSM etu dwa watch him say nani ajinkita ho dia eda Bank of Ghana and Ministry of Finance wo montema wo mo ebo adwuma ye papa pe wo my Ghana no Mampeni John Dramani Mahama echem say collaboration abasa ankrofo mienu we entem no eno eyade bia ekoyie papa pe say ema Ghana yesikasem etimi agina ne nan so.
Important and critical task was the economy. Happily, we had a good team at the Bank of Ghana, led by the governor, and we also had a good team at the Ministry of Finance, led by the Honorable Ato Forsen. And for the first time, I've been president before, and when I say for the first time, I've seen the best working relationship between the bank and the Ministry of Finance. The coordination has been excellent.
Adeshima Benunti Semwe ana Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wode abetu dwanyume so ye dibi aba besomo na ye to ansem ne so de amadia man penny John Dramani Mahama sesi ade ekopie mu ewo Zambia man ma ade a wode na probo ehhehye so ewo honenum anendedwe eye Zambia wo mo fallen heroes a wɔmo atwana nanom ɛwɔ nsiad no mama pani John Dramani Mahama kodu hɔ no ane yɛdi nhwiren ɛhyɛ ne nsaman deɛ wɔde ɛkɔto wɔmo nda so a ɛkyɛ obuo ɛne ɛyɛ ya akonsɛm a wɔde ɛma wɔn.
The first president to die in office.
Tianfo no nti mampani John Dramani Mahama wono anodin eye nhwin meche flowers e de kwoto eye fallen heroes wo monda so a sign signing the book of condolence de momo ye to asansem ne so na ye de e consent from the eye minority chief whip eye Frank Anodom pre na wo de nsem bia betudwa efa Kotoka International Airport a mo chese sesia no wo mo besisa di no aye no Accra International Airport no eno ana Frank Anodom pre enso abekasa ede afa ho
Edamase se ye free to yansa free mo maba na nea mighty minority caucus ye kan se ban entua ka wode koko akuafo enyina
to ansem ne so de amount ne de wa consem from dia eye dom kuma a wo mo e wo mahye bedwafie endedwe wo mo ayensem twofo nhie mu a mo de nsem bi abetudwa efa eye koko ebo ho eye sika e wo sempeni 40 mihwe na wo mutua edima koko farmers no ende ana dom kuma no wo mo yensem twofo nhie mu efa ho a wo mo nsem a wo mo de tudwa ne enso ye de bi esomo
Damase say you're free to yansa free mo maba na nea mighty minority caucus ye kan say ban entua ka wode koko akuafo enyina
Ebusia fa no ntin semwe anadom kuma and so na de wo free sansem nim na de wa consent from enyu media foreign affairs minister onmonyam for Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa and enyu me wono so de nsem bi apetudwa wo chemo say enam Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wekopiem ewo Zambia mine mu no eno enam so mankita hodie mapa etimi aba Ghana ene Zambia mine ma sesi ade wo mo aye free visa de ama Ghana ni bia pese wekopiem ewo Zambia mine mu benya free visa de akosa enso ana Zambia ni bia pese oba o my Ghana no eno so ma ye visa free de ama sade na ebeboa ma sankita hodie wo aman mienu ntem no etimi ejina ne nan so ye ede amaye.
The history of Ghana-Zambia relations, we are going to have a free visa between our two countries. So you no longer have to stress about visas. So we are going to have a visa waiver agreement, and it is one of the conditions that President Mahama gave us for this visit. He said, Foreign Minister, if you don't make this happen, don't join me on this visit. So Chief Director will tell you, whilst I was in Latvia, I was on her, she was chairing the technical committee meetings. I told her that you know the directive. So I'm told that it was, because we have 3 kinds of passports. They have only 2, diplomatic and then ordinary passport. So they didn't see how, they said we are not aligned because we have diplomatic, service and ordinary passports. But we told them there is a presidential directive. If you want our president to be here and you want his wishes to be granted, then you have to make sure that we reach this deal. And at 11:30 p.m. last night, they reached out to their president, and he said, if it's my brother's wish, I'm going to grant you. So we have the visa waiver agreement. This will bring the number to 15 visa waiver agreements since President Mahama was sworn into office.
Adeshima Benunti Semwe and Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa wadi abetu yanyumri ya yenso yedibi ababe somo yejina ni seme sune etwa ye ho akwaje aboa from krato abaye ba nsem no edo so ne nyumri meto aso edi amao.
Yo, I'm on for and then Yamakwaba at the bar, a KFM musical shopper. You told me, no, who free a Kumasa Malcolm that Damono, a sunny at the bar at Dumino, Sabran Udu, a Sambra Junction, a Sambra Hotel, Quantana Sope. Now shop no any Sambra Hotel and the Dinja anymore. Would the free Sambra Hotel, a woo sunny at the co, Nankane and Hagan Hono, Annie, a ho and a KFM musical shop. Dear Tosumino, yet be no fofro. Now, dear Ekani said, if you dear papa, a timiche, the Odia sorry, dear Udi grow agro ahudo. Tuma dear be a woody open here a young figure, musical instrument piano, a KFM, and to say Ghana Muntie Asantema Muntie, a KFM musical shop, Anna Sabre, yet be no fofro monochine, a war premper the second street. Ufri all men come down and now sunny ediko edumno and udu Sambra Hotel Quantana so now what done on Sunny Faso oho anas KFM musical shop yi ewo yani Sambra Hotel ana ewe animo ya twa abrebia
na mese se meya proud anase meya twa na free Kumasi edum KFM instrument store obi bisa sa se bomen fo dia what to no woni sida what dey near my papa ejira wanim na what to say yes what to no bibia kan wakoma ni nyina free KFM instrument store Kumasi edum se mi tira na me to no ma mi timi nya ho me ka fi se fi papa mu anim na mi kina no wo betro ye ko ma ya do se kana twa nanka kana u ensemfu ayi
Medo benami Ghana duko duaja ple ho duko kata. Mie chonya nyi ade vena mi cho Talent Microfinance Limited Gajradopa. Mie wona susu savings, adishare, school buafo, cashback, ple bubua okata. Nenya be egajom de mi agbo la letie to megbeko aten aho gadodo. Kenenya be egajom vivi la nenya be o gahia ola aten ava de o gai kene hia fa.
Tanenya be mi foncho mi afa jom yo kenya mi afa gadodo nyawa. Business loan elemiashi, church financing elemiashi, salary loan elemiashi, eye bubu li kenya personal loan. Nenya be mi foncho business loan enye gadodo ikemie nana asichalao. Nenya be washiba keke alum LSW we have talent mi pepegede nwo nenya washigba LSW na woge wo kekegede ji to talent pomo nuome nenye be mi ponchu mi afa salary loan enye gado mo mi ke mi huna mi afa jirudu dollar nke ga nyu he ya va talent wo payslip pe bank statement ye kwenye nwi hia na kokko ho salary loan le rate mi to keke akeji church financier personal loan va nenye habobo masoli hama eji fufofo sankuo jitao olila ashibobu ekeke mia flege no na no hem v choji nto jinwade vare koreka mon popo kai ganyu he ya talent kuna kpohe ya ole chagbagba na do tare talent bena wo gado monwo a anobo buenami akpenami
Etibe ya nyafi ke talent la.
Talent microfinance Jengo Amegan Shipe Ape Letina Tejibo Hotami.
Miape Kapomoye nya 050-129-1298. Hello 050-128-9119. Talent. Oga kwamanu banto.
Yetimu order.
Adeshimamba yesan mamuina kwaba edamasi se enyume mugusu etimu TV no ha mohwe no sia kase wo KFM TV no so mekoso ekai wo se enyume nsemi etwegum ewo ye abe fontentam video no so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV gin channel to betimi ahwebi na wa share na wa dwen channel so de go ase amame na meto ansem no so de amade a eye mrahwe bedwane a wo gina de ma de hye ya wo ewo fon ase ayebi Abaton Peswa so was a ranking member at the Economic and Development Committee. Now, what the Abetuja watching say Ghana report Abeda was say inflation or equadru 3.8%. What you say there were more ebe ye papa at the Afasa inflation reporter Abeto Ghana Ponosono were more ebe shishim.
As I'm hearing that figure, I'm also getting a lot of messages from people who are saying that what they see on the market doesn't exactly correspond with that. I'm sure when the government statistician appears before us, we'll have an opportunity to interrogate the data that they have and match it to what is really happening in the market. Many of your viewers and listeners, they buy from the markets, and they will be the best judges to tell us whether what they're experiencing on the market is 3.8% or not. We have told you earlier that what the government is doing to achieve these inflationary targets is not actually tackling the supply side. It's actually sterilizing a lot of money from the system. You recall that around October, we told you that the government has sterilized about 60 billion Ghana cedis from the system. In other words, that money is being sucked out of the economy, so people who want to use it to, conduct transactions can't even access it. So it's one thing they're doing it on the demand side and telling you, therefore, that inflation is down to 3.8. But when you go to the market, you see the real rate.
Eshmambe no tin semwe ana kojo upon kroma awye mrahwe bedwani de ma lihye ya wo mo ewo fansa yebi wodi abetuja na sansem ni mu ana mrahwe bedwani de ma lihye ya wo mo ewo bole bamboy enso abekasa wo chim sensem adom kuma no edi tudwa efa Ghana inflation ne hono de wonji ntwe sanse inflation rate e baye no eno eya de bia etwe ye cost of living ewo Ghana hase.
We are all aware that before the NDC took over, a bag of rice, depending on the size of it, let's say the 25 kilogram, if it is basmati or whatever, it was ranging around 700 Ghana cedi. Today, go and find out whether it's 700 Ghana cedi. Okay? Where there's a need for us to, as we give credit, let's give credit. Okay, where we think that there is some genuine criticism to be made, let's make it. Once we begin to have that culture in the way we administer this country, we will make some progress. I can tell you that the 3.8% that we are all talking about is reflecting in the lives of Ghanaians, and I'm not the one saying it. Like I said to you, go to the trotro station, go to the filling station and find out the prices of fuel. Transport fares haven't been reduced yet. Of course. Another thing is, you, the politicians, as well as you, the media people, as well as the citizens, we all have to work together. The fact is that prices of certain commodities are reducing. Today, price of fuel, this inflation is reflective in that.
In some way, Anna Marsha Bedjani Adema Bolly Bamboy Abaton Peswa so what they abetu Jayen so ye DB Ababe someone as Sansemnimo Anna Dom Kuma or Marsha Bedjafi and so Abeka so much him say a inflation rate and the Abeto Ghana Punsa will be a train session Abason Womode more engine to Sam Pagana inflation or at a could drew a 3.8% a woman.
Their records on paper. They've done that so well. I won't be even surprised that the inflation will go to zero. I wouldn't be surprised that the inflation will go to zero. They've been so good, they've been so tactical with everything on paper. CD is depreciating on paper, inflation is going down on paper, everything, interest rate on paper. But the reality on the ground is not. They can celebrate inflation rate on paper. But as far as we are concerned, the inflation rate that is hitting our pocket, hitting our daily lives, is different, and it is even worse than it was 23. Quite recently, they were beating and flogging some drivers and mates, forcing them to reduce transportation because supposedly fuel is down. But it is not only the cost component of the fares are not only fuel. The spare parts. Have you checked the engine prices just now? So expensive than it used to be before. When it was even 23. It was better than now that it is 3. So what is the 3? What are we doing with the 3? What are we doing with the 3? So for me, if you like, take your cameras and hit the street and ask the people to tell you the realities on ground. Today, roasted plantain, cocoa, has now been moved to 7 cities. Just a piece of it. The granules they used to sell with the roasted plantain, which is 1 city, is now 2 cities. And even the sizes have reduced. That is what I take Kofi Brookman.
Same way Anna Nana AJ what they abetu INC DB Ababesumne 27 so dia more dia eye ende dwe Ghana eye nsem ba kwa etwegu e wo my Ghana ha ya grada nende ana grada wo kopie mu e wo court eye ne final appearance nende ana omode hihye so e wo Amasaman District Court na court e ko asetina e wo ne nsem ne ho no grada ye sentence no 15 years imprisonment na ende wo kopie mu e wo court no ana court HSS 15 years omode ma no womo ahwene ni atu egu asesi ade wokodem eye afeba ko eno enam so amanipa dodo na eni agiye papa ono ankasa ne ho keni eye esiama enso ene nsemtwofo atwetwe nkoma wo kyese neni agiye papa na ebaga na ha wono anoye onipa neni agiye ebroso eno nti odi aseda ema court se nsemi wo mwetimi wo mahwe na wo edi ne krogen e wo my Ghana ha.
Believe that this is an exciting day. Pray every day, pray every day. Well, it looks like you won't speak to someone on can say, that is the husband of Patricia. It has a shirt where there are inscriptions on it that we should pray every day.
Same way Anna Esiama and said the abetudwa ye di bi ababesum na mra wode ne nsem ebe wieye no ana grada eye ne lawyer wodi ne nima asemi wo mukokan e wo court no wono so edi tudwa wo chem se wo mu se court ahwe sa 15 years no wahwe atwego mama no 12 months na wo chese eno enche se ade agrada ye wo my Ghana hasade no apepa edi efi wo de bi da egusua e wo ho enfa ho ne 15 years a wo mahwe egu a wo mo ama no fie ketwa no what you said your yen de egusua e wo kwa bibiano wo mu ebekai.
Even after everything, though it has been reduced, even if she finished 7 years, she remain an ex-convict. How would that have on her own calling as a minister of the Lord?
There are so many. If you read the Bible, there are several of them that went into jail. But eventually, that doesn't change the calling on them. So he is not the first person to be jailed. We have so many prominent figures in Ghana and even outside Ghana who were once at a point in their lives were jailed. So jail, the prison is for all of us. So the lessons that we draw from it is what is important, because today it is Mama Pat. Tomorrow, if you don't order yourselves well, If you don't fortify your mind and you continuously renew your mind, you may also end there. The prison gate is not going to be closed today. It is for all of us. So it's the lessons that we learn from it. That is the most important thing.
Adeshima menunti semwe anagrada ne lawyer yi ede abetudwa Richard Asari bafo wode abetudwa yenso ye dibi ababe somo na yeto ansem ne so de amode enche bia anakopiem ewa yawa so East wegona ade amahye bedwani oho onmonyamfo na se wato anananu ewo sedwan no ayawe husem ye papa pe wo man Ghana ne no enam so amendedwe dom kese a wo mo ewo mahye bedwafie no wometimi abom homoden ato santene ekopiemu ewo na se ne hokani Amina efia wo modi sika no sombo 100,000 Ghana cedis wo modi akoma ne se wonje na won fandi ne dada dwumedi esanse mra na se wuye no wo mo nheda embom homoden enye bibia enfama no nti wo modi 100,000 ma no se wo mo ya konsem na won fan hwe on fan toto ne normal se ne be beboa no ma bibia no wetimi akone.
So, as we have been doing it always, on behalf of the majority caucus in Parliament, we are presenting 100,000 Ghana cedis to the wife and the children.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Leader. On behalf of the family, once again, we want to say a very big thank you to all of you colleagues who have made it possible to be here this morning. In fact, as you are all aware, our late brother passed away on the 4th of January, 2026. And he was since buried the following day according to Islamic rites. And a week later, the final funeral was held, and it was well organized at the National Mosque. His Excellency the President was here to mourn with the family. Her Excellency the Vice President was also here in this house to mourn with the family. And again, Her Excellency was at the funeral at the forecourt of the National Mosque. For those of you who couldn't make it, at least you've seen it on various platforms. So as for befitting funeral, by the grace of God, we're able to give our brother and late colleague, a very befitting funeral. The widow or the wife of our late brother is the one in the middle. It's obvious that is here. And if you care to know, she's in the house observing the Islamic rites, but she's contesting the seat. She has never gone out to campaign. Her team are on the grounds campaigning for her. But inshallah, Saturday, you will see the results.
They are waiting for her in this night. They are waiting for her. Inshallah. They are waiting for you. Inshallah. She's coming. Yes. It's well. Okay. Thank you so much. No, you can shake it. Yes. All right.
Tiafanunti adoye we anadom kese a wo mo ewo marhye bedwafie meche majority leader wo mo ayede ama Nasser a wanya ne baby kono ne ho keni ene abusuafo ni 100,000 Ghana cedis say wo mo enfandi wo mo dada dwumedie ewo ho se mra sesia onmonyamfo Nasser woni ho biom no abusuafo ye gina sansem wesu ne adane ye ho sima ba ye ba ye de nsem no eko edwadie emu. Bayadin semno eko edwadie mu dia finance minister onmonyam for Dr. Kesel ato force na dedue won nsem chofo akasa afa gold Coast Refinery no ho na watchem says isi ade sa Gold Coast Refinery e ade a wo mo ebom modem bia say eye week bia no wo mo ebe refine eye 1 metric ton eye na watwi bia mo no sa metric ton we anombe refine e wo my Ghana ha no ebeboa ma bia no djuma mo ye no eno so etimi afa ne ntoma pa efra.
And the people of Ghana congratulate the Ghana Gold Board for an excellent work done, and also to thank the Gold Coast Refinery working with the Rand Refinery. We have seen that clearly the vision of His Excellency the President is being implemented. In 2016, His Excellency the President John Mahama, was here to officially open the Gold Coast Refinery with a vision to begin refining Ghana's gold. 8 years on, when he left office in 2016, the then administration never implemented the vision of the government and the people of Ghana. We came back to office in 2025. And in January 2025, during His Excellency the President's first State of the Nation address, he signaled the formation of the Ghana Gold Board, which was an anchor in our manifesto. In fact, Parliament passed the Ghana Gold Board Act in the first half of the year. So activities of Gold Board actually began in May. And I think May, June. April. And so since then, we've been working to buy ASM gold for the purposes of shipping, exporting them and bringing the forest into our country. Gold Board, I'm sure you can all see the benefits of Ghana Gold Board. It is revolutionary and it is visionary. It has changed the landscape of the gold industry in our country. It is touted all over the world as a novelty. And today we are here to celebrate another milestone of the Ghana Gold Board. Clearly, this company, Ghana Gold Coast Refinery, has the ability to refine up to 2 tons of gold per day, per week. Gold Board has agreed to provide them 1 ton of gold per week for refinery. This will be scaled up to 2 tons per week in no time. Today, Gold Board has the capacity to buy 2.5 tons on average per week of gold. It is our policy to ensure that in the shortest possible time, we will not be exporting raw gold outside this country. This refinery today that has the capacity to do 2 tons, and now with an understanding that will begin with 1 ton per week, has employed approximately 162 workers. And they are adding value to our gold. They are going to operate 24 hours in line with our 24-hour economy policy at the airport.
Adeshman Benutin same way and Dr. Kesa Wato Force in our year so far was she sika semse o my Ghana hano what the abetu dwa yesu de bi aba besum ye dina ni nsem so ne de dwade nsem no aba na wie ye na mada ne me ho sima me ba me de nsem no eko enigede. Yade nsem no ekowie ewe ni jede nsem dia Samuel yaw entry edin adodo na nim se different yaw Darlington na endedwe wode nsem bi abetudwa wo chem se wono de eba ne music career ye kase obi wo girlfriend na nenyum ene ye ne girlfriend esan se wafa ne nnwom no ye papa wo do nnwom no enu nti se nipa dodo na dia awaye tata ne se wo so ye no wo chese sesia pa de wo no ya darling ti wo no ye kasa awaye eni ne so na emom on de ohun ni se oguso esu afin na wonya 26 years enu nti awaye nsem de ebi ni na adwen mu kra sesia de wo na akoma so ene de wo na adwuma se obebo ne homodin na we promote ne nnwom na ono so we betimi agidin ye papa wo my Ghana ha esan se ne daachi ho ehia ne yie pa nti ne nnwom ne de ne nnwom ana ye ne girlfriend abibia opese obo ne homodin ma ne nnwom etimi edu echi na ya Darlington edin semwe etudwemra woni nsem twofo hia woni wo mo etwetwe nkomo eho ana wotimi ebiebie sansemwe na ma wo chese nipa dodo na abibia no wo mo ba ne di emene ya wonye na nware wo chese sade no munjan no no a wo ho no sesi ade aware eni ne so ente wo ye kra enkosi aga sesi ade de opese onya ne se obebo ne homode na na enwum no etimi edu echi ede amano no nti semwe ananwume ya Darlington wo de abetudwa yen so ye de bi aba besomo ye gina ne nsem so ne de enwume no si akase no ye de ninia aba na wie yen nsem no na edoso na enwume de di mo akotene bi ene se Mampeni John Dramani Mahama de dwe wabone homode ekopie mo ewo Zambia mainuma eye wo mo fallen heroes no wodin hwin akoto wo monda so awasa signing the book of condolence ade amon enwume ye de bi ebesomo sa enso and a foreign affairs minister enso chim says se ade nkita ho mapa aba Ghana ene Zambia tema eye visa free enso etimi akwade ama Ghana ni opeso tukwan ko Zambia ene Zambia ni opeso tukwan ba Ghana no visa no eye free unjiahe ye de munsem ye de ebesom ye de dwede nsem eka ho edema finance minister Dr. Kesel atoforcing enso chemu se Ghana ye Gold Coast refinery no eye na watwibia no ye verify ni 1 metric ton ewo on my Ghana high no se de munsem ye de ebesom ye de nigede nsem eka ho edema ya Darlington enso chemu se wono de sesi anenwum to no ena ya de a ewo ni nisu na wa ye de ebi eni neni so a eno so de mu nsem ye de ebro weni nsem ne afoforo pi a ye boa no a ye de beso mo se no nsi akase wo KFM TV ne so ye beda ya boa for ase KFM Musical Center Dadaba Tech Hub and a Talent Microfinance omo anenwume wo mo ebo ye twi do ma ye de nsem no ye de ebeso mo ye da wa otifi a wonso du afidie ne tu KFM a wo hwe kase ye da mo ina ase ye beda production team ni na so ase se enwume wo mo boy makase yetimi edebro okenkan fo a wotemi nka no edin a meje so enwume eye maami esinkoma ye mamu ina adwo yasan ekram